Declare play, the one facet of the game of bridge which allows individual players to showcase their skill by producing breathtaking masterpieces, though many have fallen flat at the last moment due to bad luck, poor card reading, or a combination of both. Today, we will look at the 5 best declared hands from the past 30 years. Before getting into the hands, I want to talk briefly about where these hands came from and how I rank them. The International Bridge Press Association, IBPA, was founded in 1958 to produce bulletins and articles cataloging major national and international competitions. They host an annual awards ceremony for many categories, including Declare Play of the Year. These awards are selected by a committee vote and are drawn from an enormous list of deals submitted to the bulletins annually. I found 16 bulletins detailing these awards dating back to 1996 and ranked each year's winner on a 1 to 10 scale based on each of 3 categories. First, how exotic was the deal? We may appreciate a well-timed cross-ruff and see the beauty in a scissors coup, but nothing leaves us wide-eyed and open-mouthed like seeing a once-in-a-lifetime squeeze materialize in front of our eyes. Scoring this category was simple. The rarer the play, the higher the ranking. Second, how much technique did Declare have to exhibit? It's impressive to pull off an exotic play like a triple squeeze or smother play, but it's much more so when you have to work at setting up the exact circumstances from trick 1. Scoring for this category was based on how accurate Declare needed to be. And third, the wow factor. Whether you're left in awe because of an unbelievable mechanism to produce extra tricks, or Declare does something that you have never thought of in a million years, this is where the beauty of these plays shines through. Scoring for this category was based on a combination of these 2 factors. Now let's get into our top 5 best declared hands. Number 5. Coming in at number 5, we have Mark Jacobus. Playing in the 2013 semifinals for the Dorsey Senior Trophy, up against Poland, USA 2's Mark Jacobus landed himself in a shaky 3-no trump contract. With West having overcalled in hearts, Jacobus ducked the opening heart lead to begin isolating the heart suit. West switched to diamonds, and Jacobus now let East hold the trick. While this was a double dummy error, East can be forgiven for not finding the club shift, as he returned a diamond to the dummy. Now Declare was firmly in control. He let a spade to his 9, West won the ace, and played back the suit to East 10 and Declare won the jack. After unblocking the heart king, Jacobus exited a spade, setting up his 8th winner in the dummy. East played back a diamond to declare his hand, which allowed Jacobus to win the ace, pitching the club jack from dummy. Now a club to the king, followed by cashing the major suit winners, produced a double squeeze on the defenders. It was no longer necessary for Declare to guess the club suit, and he scored up his vulnerable game. In the other room, the Polish Declare played for diamonds to split and ended up down 2. USA 2 would eventually go on to win the match, and after a controversial final match with Germany, the American squad would go on to win the event. Number 4. Fourth on our list was awarded to Jeff Mextroth for his ingenuitive play in this deal in 1998. There is no event listed, although this deal may have occurred during the infamous World Championships in Lille that year. Additionally, no auction was given to the final contract, so I fabricated one which seems plausible. Sitting south and up against the Norwegian pair of Tor Helnes and Geir Helgemo, Mextroth bypassed the easier 3-no trump contract to land in 5 clubs, with what appeared to be 3 certain losers. The diamond lead from Helnes gave Mextroth a glimmer of hope as the defenders hadn't established their spade trick yet, but he realized the diamond count of the opening lead would tell the tale of how to defend this hand if he won the first trick. Instead, Mextroth inserted the diamond 10 at trick 1. This play couldn't cost, as he still had a discard for his spade loser on the diamond ace, but when Helgemo sweeped up the diamond with the queen and played back the suit, Declare was home. He ditched a heart from his hand, won the ace of diamonds, played a heart to the queen and West king. Helnes switched to a spade, but it was too late. The heart jack came for a roughing finesse, and Mextroth was able to pull trumps, ending in dummy, to claim his 11 tricks. Number 3. Taking the third position is the previous deal's defender, Geir Helgemo from Norway. This deal was played in a knockout match from Norway's team championships. After a 2-spade overcall showing hearts and clubs, Helgemo and Lund navigated to the top spot of 7 spades, but bad breaks loom for declarer. The Club King lead saw Helgemo fall into an uncharacteristically long think before playing to trick 2. He reasoned as follows. The Club Jack at trick 1 is likely to be a singleton, so West is likely to have 6 clubs. This makes West's most likely shape either 1-5-1-6 or 0-5-2-6. If West had only 1 diamond, East with 8 cards in that suit may have taken a call over the 2 no-trump bid. In addition, West could have led a trump against the Grand Slam, so this makes 0-5-2-6 the most likely distribution. Turned out Helgemo was correct, but this didn't leave a simple double dummy problem. He saw his only line of play to make the contract against this layout and went for it. He cashed the heart ace at trick 2, and at trick 3 he laid down the diamond king to check for a singleton queen or jack in the diamond suit from West. If this card had showed up, he may have reverted to playing West for 1-5-1-6. Instead, he continued a diamond to the ace and dummy, relieved to see West follow. He cashed the king of hearts to discard a club from his hand, and ran the 9 of spades on the first round of the suit. After taking another spade finesse, he was in his hand to pull the last trump and execute an entry-shifting trump squeeze on West, leading the spade king. If West discarded a heart, Helgemo would overtake with the ace and begin roughing dummy's hearts good. Instead, when West discarded a club, Helgemo remained in hand with the spade king to establish his clubs. Declarer in the other room was unable to duplicate this masterpiece and went down in the same contract, earning Helgemo a whopping 20 imps. Number 2. In second position, we have a wonderful hand played from a rubber game at the Grand Slam Bridge Center in Sydney, Australia. Richard Jedrzejowski, known more commonly as Jedi, took up the reins in this 3-spade contract. After a heart-opening lead to East King, 2 rounds of diamonds, and a club switch holding in hand, Jedi began pulling trumps. After 2 rounds of spades, he paused to take stock of the situation with a good picture of the defender's hands from the early play and auction. It looked barely possible to squeeze East in the round suits by transferring the menace and hearts, but precise timing would be required. Jedi continued with a 3rd spade, won by West as he unblocked the king from dummy. A trump return would allow declarer to win in hand and lead the heart jack, as intended, whereby the diamond jack and dummy would exert too much pressure on East's hand. So West exited a diamond, and Jedi roughed the winning jack of diamonds in his hand. This was necessary to preserve the heart and club threats against East. Now came the heart jack, covered, and as declarer pulled the last trump, East was squeezed in the round suits. What an incredible display of skill from one of Australia's best players. Before we get to that number 1 spot, make sure you click the like button below the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We also have an honorable mention that I wanted to present because although it didn't make the top 5 list, this still shows off the abundance of diverse techniques that declarers use to paint a false picture of their hands for the opposition. This deal comes from another rubber game in Sydney, Australia. Michael Courtney bid an aggressive 3 no-trump after his partner's preempt and found himself in a precarious situation after the opening spade lead was covered by the 10 and the jack from East. He won the king and tried the losing diamond finesse, and East thought it was a good idea to try the heart suit before playing back a spade. He cashed the king as West dumped the jack, and on the heart ace, declarer dumped the queen, and West continued unblocking by throwing the 10. This caused East to believe he had struck gold, with his partner starting with Jack 10-9 7 of hearts, and duly continued a heart, allowing declarer to wrap up his game. Number 1. Our top-ranked deal scored a perfect 10 out of 10 in all 3 categories. This comes from the 2021 New South Wales Open Teams Trial, and our champion is Terry Brown from Australia. After a revealing auction, Terry ended up declaring 5 clubs doubled. He took the opening diamond lead with the ace, and while there were only 2 top losers, the marked 3-0 club break would cause problems for Declare in pulling trumps and roughing both of Dummy's small diamonds in his hand. Terry continued at trick 2 by leading a spade to the jack and ace queen, who didn't oblige by leading diamonds and instead continued with a heart. Terry won the ace to play 2 more rounds of spades, roughing and dummy. He next ventured the club 9, and East decided to win the club ace to continue hearts. A heart was roughed and dummy, followed by a diamond rough in hand. Now Terry masterfully pulled the last 2 trumps, ending in the closed hand, catching West in an unusual 3-suit squeeze. With only 2 cards remaining in each hand, West was unable to hold on to a winner in each of the other suits, and whichever he would let go established Declare his 11th trick. That concludes our top 5 list. Leave a comment below the video letting me know which hand you enjoyed the most, and stay tuned for more top 5 lists in the future.